الله وأنا حتى تاريخ يكون بيجتها يسدد يلا بعتنك.
It's an Edouard who had such a good qualification phase. And the corner is out. Favre looks to fire the shot in, but it was dragged wide in the end. And the French showing more attacking intent in the opening stages of this game than they managed for much of their match against the Danes. Only 2 efforts on target throughout the entire 90 minutes. Russia were ahead early on against Iceland, thanks to a penalty from Fyodor Chalov, won by Arsene Zakarian. And they did not really look back from that moment. Soumare has given the ball away. It is Makarov. And it's a good ball into the penalty area. It could open up, and it's a good save from Lafont to deny Zakarian. And the 17-year-old had a glorious chance to add to his burgeoning reputation. Worked his way into the penalty area, but Lafont stood strong to deny him. But that's the early warning for France. Obolyakov will take the corner. Good use of the fist from Lafont. Obolyakov once again. And he turns into Edouard, but to have the throw-in. Galaktianov will believe his sight. Should be ahead already. Glebov with the ball forward. Now Obolyakov. Use of the arm there from Lesovoy to control, and Dagbar was looking for the quick free kick, but Lesovoy just ensured that that wasn't possible. Koundé. Tisnizian. His forward row. Iceland. Obolyakov. Two full caps, and during the international break in November. This his 29th appearance at under-21 level. Ekone, Truffert, now Charmeni, but it was a difficult pass to execute, and Maximenko is able to gather. Fyodor Chalov, another player who has already featured for the Russian national side. He will be their primary striker in this game, but there's often a lot of things are going well. Makarov. Guerreri coming back to help out Truffert. Yevgeniev. Devayev. Yevgeniev once again plays for Dynamo Moscow. Many of the Russian squad are spread across the club sides in the Russian capital. And Dynamo are all represented. Makarov winning the header. And And France are hurried in possession at the moment. Shalmani is one of the players who has been brought into midfield. A slightly different shape. 4-3-3 for this game with the Kone, Soumaré. Three players who didn't start the game against Denmark. And it's a high quality bench for France. Guendouzi, Camavinga, Fofana, Badiashile among the players who have been jettisoned for this game. Now the pace of a Kone. Glebov looking to keep up with him. Favre. Tisnesian had hold of his shirt, but he was able to continue. Truffet. Now Guerrieri. In Ligue 1. He's the only starting player from that club involved this evening. Soumaré. And here is Truffet. Guerrieri. And Ibrahima Konate, who plays in Leipzig's team in the Bundesliga, who are continuing to try and pressure Bayern Munich at the top of that particular league. Lafont's clearance only picks up Tiknisian. Now Yevgeniev. Devayev. And the Russian central defenders are being given plenty of time on the ball in that situation. Glebov's ball forward now. It's into Chalov, who goes down, but no free kick has been given. But now it's won back by Zakarian. He's robbed on this occasion inside the penalty area. Favre. And he runs into the challenge of Lesovoy. And the Russian press here has been very good so far. France are having very little time to assess their options on the ball. Here is Konate. Now Favre. Dagba. Shalmani. Favre hurls himself to the turf, but doesn't get the free kick. Koundé. The situation in the group before this game, Denmark with 2. We have Kone, but he turns into traffic. Now he's found Truffet. Edouard. Edouard going down, penalty! Clumsy challenge inside the area from Pavel Maslov. The leg was initially dangled by Makarov, but it was Maslov who really gave Edouard the opportunity to go down. And France's top goal scorer in qualification, Odsonne Edouard, will now take a very important penalty for Sylvain Ripoll's team. Edouard up against Maximenko. Could this be a turning point in the group for the French? Edouard will take his time, but he scored. And after their false start against Denmark, France finally have their first goal at these UEFA Under-21 Championships. Very confident penalty from Odsonne Edouard. And after 11 goals in qualification, that's his first goal here, much to the relief of Sylvain Ripoll. And the situation in the group has now changed. Denmark have 6 points. They've got their 2 wins on the board. And as it stands, Russia and France have 3 apiece, with Iceland yet to register. As Dagba concedes the corner kick, halting the run of Lesovoy. And the early chance for Zakarian wasn't taken for Russia, and now they're behind. The corner is met by the goal scorer, Ben Favre. Russia rattled at the moment. Edouard scored penalties in 4 successive qualifiers. When it really matters. Two Russian players go for the same ball. As a result, had a route through to the penalty area, but it was good covering from Obolyakov. Now Tiknisian. And the air, Tiknisian has not really been able to break into French territory in characteristic style so far. Shameni. And Obolyakov ensures that Russia will have the throw-in. Glebov. Zakarian was challenged and fouled by Konate. Yevgeniev. Now Devayev. Obolyakov. Obolyakov will now have to try and win the ball back. Kunde with the challenge, but it could break kindly for Chalov, and it does. Zakarian inside the centre. Chalov, though, continues himself, and Fyodor Chalov's shot was deflected. Makarov unable to gather the rebound initially, and then he slips as he tries to go beyond Truffert. Lafont's clearance, nicely done by Edouard. Ikone finding Guriri. And now Edouard inside the area once again, the cross deflected and gathered by Maximenko. Odsonne Edouard has won 3 league titles with Glasgow Celtic in Scotland, having come through the academy at Paris Saint-Germain. Devayev. Obolyakov looking to pull the strings once again. Makarov was looking for Chalov. Favre. Now Truffert. Guriri. Soumare. Now Favre. That penalty has clearly given France some confidence. Shameni. Truffert. Truffert allowed to continue inside Glebov, and the spin of the ball will allow him to keep it in play. Guriri. And that will be a goal kick in the end. The challenge from Pavel Maslov, the man who gave away the penalty. And Mikhail Galaktionov will Makarov chasing. Fonts clearance, and he's found Soumare. He's quickly drilled by Obolyakov. Now done well to keep the ball in play, but the touch from him was wayward on this occasion. And Armin Guriri was one of the few players who emerged from the defeat to Denmark with some credit for the French. Never stopped working down the left-hand side. On from Maslov. Zakarian will close down the goalkeeper. Lesovoy losing out. Now Favre using his pace to go beyond Tiznikian, but Yevgeniev was able to intervene, and there is a real ebb and flow to this game at the moment. Ikone, Favre in support, but Ikone may use him as a decoy. Guriri, it was blocked inside the penalty area, and it's Pavel Maslov who has been penalised once again, shown the yellow card, and it's another penalty to France. The yellow card for Maslov will mean he's unavailable for the next game. And the left arm was just dangled behind the body as Guriri fired towards goal. And this time, Jonathan Ikone will take the penalty. And France here have a wonderful opportunity to take a firm grip on this game.
Number 4, Russia. Your foot out of the penalty area. Your foot out.
The officials making sure that all the players are outside the area. Ikone against Maximenko. Oh, audaciously done by Jonathan Ikone. He delivers a Panenka, and France lead by 2-0. Ikone delivering the sort of penalty which looks great when it works, and that was executed to perfection. Maximenko made his decision, and Ikone was impudent. Problems mounting up for Mikhail Galaktionov. But France, thanks to 2 penalties conceded by Pavel Maslov, lead by 2-0. Guriri. Favre. Now Koundé. Soumare. France here looking like a team transformed. Guriri. Makarov with a challenge, but it's won back by Edouard. Truffaut's cross. Now Zakarian. Obolyakov. Chalov. Excellent ball from Chalov. Here is Makarov. Just slips at the crucial moment. And Konate can bring it clear, and then Chalov has gone down clutching his face after clashing with Konate. And Dagba will sportingly knock the ball out of play. Well, there didn't seem to be a huge amount in that. Chalov's forehead is now heavily grasped, but there doesn't seem to be any lasting damage. Truffert. Koundé. Now Dagba. Mobilyakov will try to create some pressure, helped out by Zakarian. Now Soumaré. France with more of the ball just about so far, and all of the goals. Evgeniev. And you get the feeling the scoring won't end here. Truffert. Now Akone. Dagba. Shalmeni. France playing the sort of football now which they're more renowned for, though Truffert has given it away to Makarov, and Russia now have a free kick. Russia unbeaten in the 3 most recent meetings with France, which all came in friendly games, winning 2 of those. France's last win against the Russians came in June of 1999, when David Trezeguet was on the score sheet. A year later, he was scoring the winner for France in the final of Euro 2000. And of course, he was already a World Cup winner at that time. Martin Edouard is down now. Roman Evgeniev was certainly leaning on him. Galachinov will believe his side are still capable of taking something from this game. An early chance for Arsene Zakarian seems to be even more important now. Had Russia taken the lead, then the French would have found themselves under immense pressure, but the 2 penalties have transformed their outlook and in many ways transformed their tournament. Evgeniev's clearance. Makarov. And it says a good deal about this French lineup this evening that so many of the so-called big-name players have been left out, but they've looked a much more cohesive unit. That's not to say there is not plenty of quality out on the field at the moment. Shalmeni. Edouard and Akone. Very efficient from the penalty spot. And France are playing their way back into this group. Their final game is against an Icelandic side who already have 2 defeats. And Russia would face a Danish side who will be full of confidence after 2 victories. Konate. Samare. Flick from Guriri, but it was cut out by Obulyakov. Chalov. And there's real hunger there from the French to win the ball back. 3 or 4 players very quickly converged on Chalov. And that's not something we saw consistently on Thursday night here. This is France's 2nd game in Hungary's oldest city, Szombathely, close to the Austrian border. Havadash Stadion, one of a number of very recently constructed venues being used for this tournament. Edouard again working hard, some way from the penalty area, but Makarov unable to keep the ball in play. Soumare. Challenge came in from Lesavoy. Truffet. Now Akone. Guriri. Akone once again, the scoop will find Guriri. Truffet is in behind. And he skips away from Makarov. And that's a good cross looking for Edouard, but it was met by Divayev. Technician will use his pace to avoid the corner, but he's given the ball away to Favre. Now Dagba. And it's Russia's turn to work hard to win it back. Obulyakov. Strong header from Kunde. Long from Glebov, but it was high over the head of Lesavoy. Truffet. Now Guriri. Chalov coming back to help out his defenders. Now Obulyakov looks forward, and Zakarian is the focal point of the attack now. Here is Chalov. Yevgeniev. Glebov. Yevgeniev. Russia came through their qualifying group pretty comfortably. 7 wins, 2 draws and a single defeat. Goals didn't flow too freely throughout the campaign. They scored 22 in 10 games, but they only conceded 4, which was really their strength. They finished 3 points clear of Poland. France were more expansive in a number of their games, thanks to the goals of Odsonne Edouard. They won 9 of their 10 matches. Hit 5 on 4 separate occasions. Makarov! And that was moving away from the goalkeeper Lafond, who had to readjust and make the save. Tignisian will take the throw-in, and he's found Obulyakov. Sharmani's clearance, helped back in towards Makarov again, and there was confusion there for a moment before Konate's clearance. Lesovoy challenged by Dagba, but it's a throw-in to Russia, who are not out of this game by any means. And now they have a free kick. This was Makarov's shot, which swung away from the goalkeeper at the last moment, and Lafont had to be careful. Zakarian's flick doesn't quite come off, and Koundé's able to clear. And now Favre has been caught. Lafont's clearance was almost a problem for Sylvain Ripoll, as didn't really see the challenge coming in from Chalov. Ripoll has turned to a couple of players from Lille who have really given them more dynamism in this game. Boubakary Soumaré and Jonathan Ikone as Obulyakov just has a word from the referee after that challenge on Truffet. Konate, Koundé. Now Dagba, Favre, Ikone again. Tignisian with the challenge this time, but Favre was there to quickly win the ball back, and France have an overload here. It's Ikone looking for Edouard Yevgeniev with a desperate touch, but it got the job done. Lesovoy didn't see Dagba coming. And there are some fascinating duels all over the field. Sharmani. Now Lesovoy. And Soumaré has lost out. Zakarian, though, didn't see Koundé coming. France have the throw-in. Truffet. Into Favre, but it breaks down. Sharmani once again is there to break things up and just ensure that Russia can't break on France too easily. Koundé. Now Dagba. Konate, Truffet, Sharmani. Here is Ikone once again looking to use his pace. Dagba, Ikone. Dagba's ball back towards the edge of the penalty area was short, and the challenge on Lesovoy leads to the penalty, leads to the free kick rather. Quite a few penalties in this game already. Koundé with the interception as Chalov looked to make the run in behind. Favre. Now Sharmani. France enjoying a measure of control in this game now. Just as they give the ball away, Zakarian, Chalov, Makarov was the intended recipient, but it was a short ball. Truffet coming across to intervene. Maximenko has not had a save to make apart from facing the 2 penalties. France scoring with both of their attempts on target so far. Both of Russia's have forced excellent saves from Alban Lafont. Lesovoy. Just the final ball letting Russia down once again. Yevgeniev. Dobolyakov. And it was helped on by Maslov, but beyond Makarov. Galaktinov will have 1 or 2 words to say at half-time. But France do have a very solid look to them defensively. And just more energy going forward as Edouard finds Favre. He can break into the penalty area. It'll come back to Edouard, and it's a save for Maximenko. And France close to a 3rd goal. Edouard not striking it cleanly, but it was firm enough to ensure that Maximenko had to plunge to his left. Russia penalised for offside. Here is Truffat. Now Guerrieri. Konate. Koundé. Soumare was quickly closed down, but Favre will find Ikone, Chalmene, but that's given away to Glebov. And now Makarov. Once again, his footwear betrays him. Ikone. Truffat. Helped on by Edouard. But it was Dobolyakov with the challenge this time. Glebov. Now Yevgeniev. Russia continuing to try and work their way through the heart of the French midfield, but players like Chalmene and Guerrieri have been very difficult to overcome. Tiknisian, now Dobolyakov. And it was wide towards Lesovoy, but we've seen little of the overlapping fullbacks from Russia, which was a main feature of their victory against Iceland, as the half-time whistle goes. And France in control thanks to 2 penalties. The first one won and scored by Odsonne Edouard. And the second given for a handball from Pavel Maslov. And Jonathan Okone executing a perfect Panenka. Russia have had their chances, but it's France who have made the most of theirs so far. At half-time, it is Russia 0, France 2. And welcome back to the Hellas Stadion in Szombathely. France leading Russia by 2-0 at half-time in Group C of the UEFA Under-21 Championship. And Mikhail Galaktinov is about to make a double change at half-time. Alexander Lomovitsky and Vyacheslav Grulov will be the players coming on. And the Russian coach has clearly seen enough. Grulov is a striker. Lomovitsky can play as an attacking midfielder. And we wait to see who they're replacing. Grulov is the first player to enter the field. And he's not replaced Alexander Maximenko because he's the goalkeeper. Daniel Lesovoy has made way for Alexander Lomovitsky. Russia get the second half underway, trailing here by 2-0. And their goal difference has been eaten into by those two first half penalties for France. They and France are now +1 in that category, although Russia have scored more goals. And it could come down to that at the end of what's turning into a very tight group. Arsene Zakarian was the other player withdrawn for Russia. Vyacheslav Grulov replacing him in attack alongside Fyodor Chalov. Yevgeniev, now Obolyakov. And it was quickly into the feet of Grulov, but France had players around the ball, and that's a lovely turn from Edouard. Here is Akone. It was the challenge of Glebov which gifted him the ball. Guerreri linking up with Truffert once again. Soumare. Now Truffert. Guerreri. So Mikhail Galaktinov taking off the 17-year-old Arsene Zakarian, who had a wonderful early chance to give Russia the lead. Alban Lafond made an excellent save. Had that gone in, matters here could be very different. Dlamini, challenged by Obolyakov. Koundé. Quickly forward from Devayev, and good running off the ball from Makarov, but the heavy first touch allows Lafond to gather. France have been champions of this competition only once. In 1988, Eric Cantona was their goal-scoring hero in their two-leg semi-final against Paul Gascoigne's England, when he scored 3 times before Franck Sauzet, who went on to be a title winner with Marseille. Scored twice in the final against Greece. Vyacheslav Grulov plays for Dynamo Moscow. Has 3 goals at this level before this evening. And Alexander Lomovitsky plays for Arsenal Tula on loan from Spartak in the Russian capital. Fave. Now Dagba. France didn't qualify for 13 years until 2019, when they booked a place in this year's Olympic Games in Japan by finishing second behind Romania in their group. Now Makarov winning a loose ball. Chalov went for the acrobatics and it didn't come off. And things have not fallen for Fyodor Chalov so far this evening. The ball in for Makarov was initially intended for Lomovitsky. Sylvain Ripoll has seen the performance he was asking for from his team so far. Obolyakov. Lomovitsky, but the flag is raised. Tight call. France got to the semi-finals 2 years ago before losing to the eventual winners Spain by 4-1. Guerrieri. Now Ikone. Soumare. Truffert. And the ball had gone out of play, so Russia have the throw-in. France last reached the finals of this competition back in 2002 when they were beaten by the Czech Republic on penalties. A number of fine players came through that side. Peggy Lilindula, Steve Malbronk and Sidney Govou. Tikhnisian. Now Obolyakov. Lomovitsky. And it was Koundé's challenge on Tiznikian. Fevre with a clearance which spins into the path of Yevgeniev. Koundé. And Russia need the next goal in this game, should there be one. Chalov, he could work the opening here. But a combination of Guerrieri and Koundé were in the way, and here is the pace of Soumare. Edouard went for the dummy, but he was offside. By doing that, Edouard became involved in the play. Devaev. Tikhnisian is unable to keep the ball in play. We've not seen a single cross from him yet this evening. He was the player of the match against Iceland. Dagba. Font had plenty of time. Yevgeniev. Now Ikone. Shalmani was crowded out. Obolyakov. Lomovitsky. Gone on to have successful careers as full internationals. Scored their only goals in the group stage. And as the Soviet Union, they won the title in both 1980 and 1990 as the ball breaks kindly there for Makarov, but he dragged the effort well wide. Koundé's had a dropping to him, but Lafont made two fine saves in the first half, but apart from that, Russia have not really done enough to test him. Obulyakov. But here is Akone. Now Edouard. Guriri. And he pulls it back to Soumare, but it was Obulyakov with probably a goal-saving challenge. And the Russia captain there knew what the potential danger was. Now Favre has been caught by Tiknisian. And the defender is quick to leave the scene. But it was a rap on the Achilles of the French wide player. Romain Favre of Brest has not been involved a huge amount before this championship, but he's now started both games. Favre will take the free kick, flicked on by Koundé. Guriri! And it wasn't too far wide. And the ball finding Guriri at the far post, but he was never quite set for the shot. Semenko's clearance onto the head of Tchouaméni. Now France will feel comfortable in the game at the moment. Russia's attacking pressure has been sporadic. Favre. Lomowitsky is there to try and win the ball back. And it's Russia who have the throw-in. Evgeniev's initial ball forward. And Tiknisian. Divayev. Evgeniev again. Obulyakov. Tiknisian, that's a good ball. Drulov. And it's a goal kick. Good defending from Tchouaméni. Lomowitsky. Tiknisian. Obulyakov asking Divayev to scamper. And France have negotiated the opening 15 minutes of the second half with very few alarms, if any. But now Favre is penalised for the challenge on Glebov. And Obulyakov is the player who was coming off, so the defensive midfielder hands over the armband to Alexander Maximenko. And he's done his job at the base of the midfield, but there's a need for more intent going forward now, so Nail Umyadov comes on. Plays for Spartak Moscow, 20 years of age. Lomowitsky. Gruliev. Lomowitsky deeper. Gruliev's header. No power. Lomovitsky with the ball in. Gruliev was very ambitious to try and score from there. Chalov, Lomovitsky, Makarov, met by Konate, and here is Favre. Truffet, Soumare, Ikone, and France playing with much more of a swagger here than they managed in the game against Denmark. But at the same time, there's been more of a collective spirit. They look like a team of talented individuals at times during the opening game, and Denmark were fairly comfortable even before they scored their goal. Truffet was blocked by Myarov. And it's the central defender, Yevgeniev, who looks to lead the attack once again. He's found Chalov. Yevgeniev now inside the penalty area, but he can't pick out a teammate. Tignisian. Now he trots back into a more familiar position. Devaev. Will he try a saunter forward here? He's found Tignisian. Myarov. Well, that's loose. Straight to Samara. Hansen Edouard, though, just slipping. A number of players have done that. Myarov was clipped by Guriri. Just as Russia were looking to break there, it's a free kick. Makarov looking to turn, use his pace. Truffet holds him up initially, but it's in towards Chalov inside the penalty area. Gruliev, and he was just looking to feed it square to Lomovitsky. Umyarov, Tiznikian, Mavardov in behind. Lomovitsky will chase, but it's a forlorn one, and that frustration really tells you about the sort of service he's been receiving. And Galaktionov has made his changes, but there has been marginally more threat from Russia, but Lafont has not really been tested since half-time. Push on Glebov from Edouard. Tignisian, Umyarov, and Gruliev unable to turn away from the cover. Here is Ikone. Flicked on by Favre into the path of Guriri, and now Truffet will make a third man run down the left. Guriri in support. Truffet may look to go himself. He's beyond Ivaev. Now Favre, Shameni, Dagba. And one more goal for the French would be very important, because it would put them above Russia in the group. They would both have 3 points, but France would have the better goal difference. Koundé. And if the two teams did finish level, and if it came down to a head-to-head record, then obviously France would have the edge. Maslov's ball forward is quickly cut out. Here is Favre. Gouiri. Truffert. It's given away to Makarov. Chalov. Glebov will chase, but it's the goalkeeper who sweeps up for France. Already a scorer for the national side. And it's Romain Favre, who will be replaced by Alexis Claude Maurice, who was a late entrant into the squad to replace Houssem Aouar, and this is debut at under 21 level. And he will take the corner with his first touch. It's cleared as far as Akone. Back to Claude Maurice. And he makes the run in behind. It was a clever one. The cross is delivered to the far post. Tchouameni able to bring it down. Then it's his cross. And was there a push there? Here is Edouard. He can make it 3, but Maximenko makes the save. Well, the play was allowed to continue there. Ibrahima Konate challenged for the ball. And did Divayev shove him over? Well, in the end it was Edouard's shot which was blocked by the legs of Maximenko, and it's a corner to France as they look to finish things off. Their third corner. And it was flicked on by a Russian head. Koundé. Now Makarov. And Akone once again getting through his share of defensive work. Umyarov. And Russia are running out of time to make this a contest. Lomovitsky. Tiknisian. Camavinga was the player who came back to win it for France. Here is Soumare. Truffert. It's been given away to Lomovitsky, but it was well beyond Makarov. Koundé. Truffert. And if there is to be another goal in this game, France look the more likely goal scorers at the moment. Daniel Kulikov and Konstantin Tiakarvan will be coming on for very soon. The corner aimed towards Koundé, but Yevgeniev is able to clear. Makarov. That could turn out to be a very good ball, but Lafont was alert to the danger. Chalov. Tchouameni was strong again. Konate. Claude Maurice cuts in field and lets fly some way wide. Yevgeniev. Umyadov. And here is Divayev. Makarov's flick. Chalov. Lomovitsky. Makarov's first shot is blocked. Makarov again looking to work the space. And in the end, he's crowded out. Claude Maurice. Truffert. Things have just not happened for Russia around the attacking penalty area. Technician. Yevgeniev. It's a good ball from him, Makarov. Truffert was holding on there, but the comfortable for Lafont in the end. By Divayev. And at the moment, France are seeing this game out very comfortably before they face the bottom side in the group. Eyed up by Grulev, but it was some way wide in the end. Makarov is taken off to be replaced by Daniil Kulikov. And it's a debut at this level for Konstantin Pavan, an 18-year-old from Dynamo Moscow. Changes for France as well. And it's Fetu Mawasa who comes on, along with Randal Kolomoani. The UEFA winner at both under-17 and under-19 level with France, looking for his third age group title.
Substitution for France, number 7, Adrien Truffert, is being replaced by
So a flurry of changes made by both teams. Antoine Edouard has also gone off for France. So Mawani will replace him, and Freva, positionally at least, will be replaced by Fetu Mawasa. Sylvain Ripoll will maybe already have eyes on what's coming up on Wednesday. Daniil Glebov was also withdrawn for Russia. Denis Makarov was the other player going off for Kulikov and Tyukovin. Russia have the free kick with 12 minutes to play. Adrien Truffert was also withdrawn for France. That's where Mawasa is now filling in. Technician. Here is Koundé. Umyadov. And Dankberg will be able to shepherd that ball behind. inside the final 10 minutes, and the two first half penalties continue to divide the sides. Matteo Guendouzi, Tiknisian. Koundé has not missed a thing all night. Camavinga. And the free kick has been earned by Muani. And we are about to have another change for France. Their final one. And Guendouzi will come on to replace Boubakary Soumare, who has been one of their stars this evening. Guendouzi now at Hertha Berlin on loan from Arsenal. For France during the